in making its spending decisions.
Question number 3, David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Prime Minister, does he have confidence in the Minister for State-Owned Enterprises?
I got that sentence up.
Honourable Bill English, on behalf of the Prime Minister.
On behalf of the Prime Minister, yes, he is a hard-working and competent minister.
David Shearer.
Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Question.
When did his Minister for State-Owned Enterprises first inform him that the falling coal prices were having a serious effect on Solid Energy and the company was in financial difficulty?
Honourable Bill English, on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, the Minister of SOEs would have been involved in the initiation of the scoping study into Solid Energy along with the other SOEs at the beginning of 2011, just after he became the Minister of SOEs. He would have received that report at the same time as the Prime Minister did during 2011, which highlighted some concerns about Solid Energy.
Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Why did the government show a book value of $3.5 billion for Solid Energy in November 2010, when earlier it had been independently valued by Macquarie and Forsyth Barr at $1.7 and $1.6 billion, respectively?
Honourable Bill English, on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, the valuation of the company, as I understand it, was finally determined by the board, and that was the board's valuation. As it's turned out, it was based on assumptions both about the coal price and their investments into alternative energy, assumptions which did not eventuate.
Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Did either of the shareholding ministers advise him on the scoping report received 3 weeks before the 2011 election, which highlighted Solid Energy's financial problems? And if so, why wasn't that information made public? That's right.
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, the Minister would certainly have brought that report to the attention of the Prime Minister. It, in fact, had been discussed throughout 2011, well before there was any drop in the coal price. The scoping studies were not made public because they were commercially confidential documents. And I might say at the time the opposition was criticising the government on the basis that it was going to be ripping these places apart by applying commercial principles. Now they're saying we weren't commercial enough.
Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Why was the government continuing to pretend publicly that all was rosy at Solid Energy while preparing it for sale when ministers knew it was actually in financial trouble?
That's right. Honourable Bill English, on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, because that's not correct. The sequence of events is that the scoping study highlighted a number of areas of concern with Solid Energy. Later in 2012, those concerns turned into pretty obvious vulnerabilities when the coal price dropped significantly, and then Solid Energy lost 25% of its export market. The government was working with the board on these issues well before there was any question of Solid Energy's financial viability.
Supplementary question, David Shearer.
Why was the government battling the Solid Energy board for 18 months to stop it selling part of Solid Energy overseas, as the Prime Minister said just a few hours ago, when that was exactly what the government is planning to do when it floats it on the Australian Stock Exchange?
That's right. Honourable Bill English, on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Well, Mr Speaker, what the government was doing was contesting with the board its opinions and views about the direction of the company, its opinions about the future track for the coal price, and its opinions about the success of the alternative energy investments that it was pushed into by the previous Labor government.
Question number 4, Honourable Phil Heckley.
Mr
Order.
Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Social Development and asks, what results have the government